G'day guys, welcome to the first week of the finals of AHGL Season 3. I am Maynarde, and this is my very excited co-caster Zepph. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing excellently. I mean, it's really great to be able to do some more AHGL. Once again, it's been a while. I think it's been over a month since we've been at it here.
Just about.
So, yeah, it should be pretty exciting.
I ask Zepph every time we cast how she's doing, and I've never heard her say that she's excited as excitedly as that. And for Game 1, we are going to be having a TVZ on one of the new maps, Newkirk Precinct. So let's just have a look at these handsome players here. Oh, there we go. So on the left, we have got Jinx, the Terran player, and Imp Ancient, who we're going to be referring to as Ancient from the team Imp, is playing the Zerg in the, I guess, the right side. He'll be playing red. Intel will be blue. So this is actually Intel and IBM's first official match together, both placing very highly in the at the end of the season for Season 3, Zepph. So
yeah, definitely. These guys are some seriously heavy hitters in this league, so this match should be pretty intense. And we've got a lot of games here for them to slug it out in. I believe it's a best of 7.
Yes, indeed, it is a best of 7 in the championship bracket, not to be confused with the best of 5 of the regular season. The player Ancient was a recent addition to IBM, replacing a veteran of the team, Thud Banks. Rest in peace, Thud Bang. So he's got some big shoes to fill, obviously. And Jinx, don't know too much about. He was the captain last season during the preseason, actually returning from a sabbatical after 7 years of employment with Intel. So he's a long-standing member of the Intel family.
Yeah, for sure. He's a veteran.
Let's hope that when he was away on sabbatical, he was practicing plenty of Heart of the Swarm. So we'll watch this game unfold right before our very eyes, guys. Stay tuned. Here we go. Game number 1 now. All right. Oh, I'm so excited that it's finals time, Zepph. In the bottom right, we have got the blue Terran player from Intel, Jinx.
And his opponent spawning as a red Zerg for IBM, it is Ancient.
Ancients, good luck, have fun from both players. And what can you tell us about ZVT on this map so far? Have you played many games? I know that you're, around the GM level in C right now.
Yeah, I actually haven't had too much experience on this map in particular. I have it vetoed because I find it really awkward to play on, just because your third is always in a kind of awkward spot. And there's a lot of nice chokes if Terrans want to siege up or something like that. But it's not really too debatable that the medevac is kind of really strong right now.
Yes, it's definitely a thing. The speedovac has been the woes and cause of many Zerg tears. Many liters, or I guess gallons if you're an American, have been shed of Zerg tears. But, a lot of players, in fact our own Pig, has been putting up VODs of coaching on how to deal with the speedovac, and I got to say that he's got some pretty good ideas, and they seem very effective, especially when he busts them out. Of course, if you don't have the skills to pay the bills, it's a little bit difficult to stop speedovacs. They're definitely something that can punish a lower level player. You need to always be aware of them and pretty much blind Spore Crawler and just assume that they're going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've spoken to a few high-level Zergs recently, and they all seem to say, as a Zerg player in ZVT right now, you feel like you have to play so much faster and really outplay your opponent to be able to win in ZVT because it's quite a tough matchup, which is a complete reversal from what we were seeing in Wings of Liberty. But I suppose we'll see how this game unfolds. I mean, not to talk badly of the strength of Terran right now, because Zerg has got some pretty sick stuff going on as well.
They definitely have quite a few handy new tools. The Swarm Host, a very good option against mech. Also, the buffed Mutalisk being incredibly useful. Saw Startail's life take out an MLG because of that Muta control, and Ling Bane control as well, being a genius. But obviously we're not watching MLG Koreans right here. We are watching AHGL members. So this is obviously a massive shout out, first of all, to Day 9 and AHGL for fronting money for charities. So that's an amazing thing. Really is heartwarming for something like AHGL to come aboard. So we are very honored to be casting it. And in the meantime, before things get too hectic here with the action, we would like to also shout out our fellow Australian brother-in-arms, Duckville, Of course, voting stages are up now for your favorite caster in the AHGL, and Duckville is an Australian brother. We do love him very much. Our scene's very small. Feel free to vote for him as well as us, and also vote for Penguin and Rifkin, because I hear those guys give us shout-outs on their side of the fence.
Yeah, for sure. I have the pleasure of working with those guys under Base Trade TV, and they've been nothing but supportive to us as well in this league. We're all rooting for each other, so please, guys, make sure you go and vote for everyone you like. I think you can actually vote for more than one, because there's a little like button there. So
go for the triple vote, guys. Of course, this is just for this week. Next week, you better only vote for us, because it will be like Highlander. There can be only one. If anyone's old enough to remember that horrible 80s movie. Actually, it's a great 80s movie, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, Jinx did take a 13 gas, so we do have some pretty fast factory play here, going straight for Hellions. Looking like a very standard Wings of Liberty opener here from Jinx, going for an expansion behind this as well. And I gotta say, Ancient's looking pretty standard, along with Jinx, going for that 15 hatchery. A very fast third. But other than that, not really a whole lot to note. Still not mining gas, just droning Lings and Queens right now.
Yeah, that is actually a very fast third. Before 6 minutes, I think that went down around 5:30, which is long before you're actually even saturated on both your bases. I think he actually had to cut drones a little bit to push that out. And it's an interesting decision, seeing as Terran harass in the early game has only gone up. And speaking of which, some Hellions.
They don't want none of that. That's only a couple Lings and a Queen, but still, that's enough to handle these Hellions if they get pressed up against the corner like that. And what can you tell us about this placement here for Ancient's third hatchery, Zepph? This is a bit of a... You generally don't want to expand towards the Terran, but the other locations to expand just don't seem that easy to defend. I've got to say, it's going to be a little bit harder to get that creep spread and unit defense up to that other third. Oh, nice catch with those Lings on that Hellion there.
Very nice. Can he get the second one?
Oh, yes, he can. Wow.
Very nice.
Very.
It's really awesome to get rid of those as early as possible, because then you can have the watchtowers and you won't get caught out by any sneaky surprises. But to touch on what you were saying about that third base, I absolutely agree. It's a bit of an awkward spot, and one of the reasons why I don't like this map, a lot of people prefer to take the Northwood third expansion instead.
That's right.
But even so, you eventually, if the game goes long enough, have to take the third that Ancient has elected to take, and you have to take the one kind of above that as well, so it gets very, very sticky in terms of defending those.
And speaking of sticky defense, Ancient's having a little bit of an issue already, causing issues for Jinx, and in fact the splash damage of those Widow Mines kind of helped him and kind of didn't. I guess that was the only defense he had against those Lings, but he also damaged a worker there and killed a couple Marines as well. Oh! Bit of a hit there on the Lings. That's right.
The other Widow Mines are on cooldown right now, so the SCVs have to be pulled. They could actually fight those, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And
I guess so.
Supply Depot goes down too.
If he could get a couple mules, this would be great. For the Zerg player.
You got to be careful with the Widow Mine splash, because it splashes friendly units.
Yeah, actually, this is the crux of the Widow Mine. Yes, it is an incredible new unit for Terrans. But you got to make sure that these bad boys only explode in your enemy's faces and not in your own, because they do friendly fire. They don't blow up other Widow Mines, but they do blow up your other units. So we've seen many mineral lines destroyed by Widow Mines trying to utilize them for Mutalisk defense. We've seen Widow Mines destroy Terran Bowls after Lings, or even Broodlings especially, baiting them into the Terran Bio Balls. So got to be very careful.
For sure. Well, Ancient seems like he's really looking to get some damage done.
Yeah, a lot of
Lings, or at least just, really contain Jinx. And he's going to try and run up here, baiting out some Widow Mine.
Yeah, nice play
there.
Nice moves. The other two in the back still have live rounds, though. One still left with a live round. These Lings splitting off nicely, but clumping up again for that last Widow Mine. Only one Ling left. So,
absolute carnage there, but at the same time, there's a drop going down in the main of Ancient Widow Mines, Marine and Marauder in here.
Once again, seeing the Widow Mine damage the Terran units, but also doing sick damage to the economy of Ancient, clearing out that main of all but one drone, getting a Queen as well. This many Lings probably won't be enough. No, it will be enough with that reinforcement there, and he does leaving a Widow Mine in the main for Ancient to have to worry about.
Yeah, he's got a couple there, and if
he doesn't even have Lair yet,
and forgets about them and sticks those in there, he's going to have a hard time. Here's the annoyance of those medevacs. He just keeps in and out. Wow. That
was a sick hit from that Widow Mine. And these Lings, this medevac being a real pain for Ancient, and it does escape as well. So Jinx is recovering very nicely, doing some damage there, but you know what, Zepph, he kind of has to. If we look at the work account here, it is 65 drones to 35 SCVs, and hugely in favor of Ancient here. And he does actually have 4 hatcheries up now. So, yes, the main is down, but he's still a base up on the Terran and quite ahead in workers. So once he gets these Spore Crawlers down, which don't need an Evo Chamber anymore, but he does have Evo Chambers anyway, he will be able to detect them. That is actually his only form of detection. As I mentioned, he doesn't have Lair just yet, so can't make Overseers.
Interesting build from Ancient. He just went really, really economical, using just a few Lings to harass and keep Jinx in his base. And I mean, right now he's still just harassing with Widow Mines, but you know, Ancient's not too concerned. Perhaps he just has a slight advantage in terms of multitask, because like you pointed out, he's kept on top of the work account very, very well. But Jinx is now going to try and secure his third.
We can see 1-1 on the way for the Zerglings here. No upgrades yet. Oh, 1+1 just being researched then for Jinx. And Overlord trying to get a bit of a look on what's going on. He pretty much does see what's going on. It's just some barracks and a reacted factory in the main of Jinx, which is all of his unit production facilities right now. Taking a third at the front, morphing that into a planetary will be very handy for a defense against this Zerg the Zerg Swarm. The flow of Lings that's been bothering him all game long. And it looks like a big doom drop from Jinx going up to the north side of this map.
That could be really sick, and those arrive so quickly now with that medevac boost, but I'm not sure if Ancient clipped the vision of that just as he took the watchtower.
He might have, because he's actually pulling his units back to be in position here, so he should be. He's in his best possible drop defense mode right now. Does he have enough, though? We'll have to wait and see. This is 3 full medevacs, one of them with quite a few Widow Mines as well. Going up to the third, there's a lot of drones here and only a few Lings. If he can get some Widow Mines burrow, this would be really good for Jinx, but no, decides to boost away instead.
Yeah, I think he gave Jinx a little bit too much time to get prepared there, but even so, I mean, that forced a fair few Lings in response, which of course isn't drones and whatever else that he wanted to get at this point, but that's the really annoying thing about medevacs there. You never know when they're going to drop, and Jinx, being super annoying, he just flies in, flies around, has a look, and then decides he doesn't even want to drop anyway. So they do actually require quite a lot of attention from the Zerg to keep on top of, and it's very nice of Jinx to kind of decide, alright, I'm not going to bother trying to commit here. I'll just be annoying and then get out.
Truth. See a lot of Lings here trying to clear up a 6th base, in fact, for Ancient. Sorry, a 5th base. He only has 4. I'm getting ahead of myself. And +1 just about to finish for Jinx here. +1, 2-2 on the way for Ancient. So he's doing pretty well on the upgrade front. Switching into Mutas as well. Does have +1 attack on the way, which is an interesting choice. He has seen mainly Bio. Generally, I think you go for the +1 armor on the Mutas against the Bio, but that's okay. He is just going to use them straight up for damage right now. And is Jinx prepared for them, Zepph? He has a lot of Widow Mines, but it doesn't look like they're in position to defend mineral lines here.
True. Well, at the very least, I mean, the +1 with Stim just finished for all those Marines, so they'll help out a lot in taking out these Mutas, but he's going to be careful. He might lose combat shields.
Oh, looks like he will. He has all these Marines with Stim, but where are they, Zepph? Oh, he's going to get some medevacs as well.
Ooh,
boosting away. There we go. And there's a lot of Widow Mines here! Oh my god.
Those are some very, very softened up Mutas. And there's another hit that could go off. Oh, doesn't quite go off as Jinx decides to unburrow.
Oh man, these Mutas go home with some stories to tell their friends.
Yeah, well, Jinx, he's mad. He wants to get some revenge. Coming into his
big attack here. A couple of these Widow Mines still have charges left in them. They're very, very dangerous for that splash damage. He really wants to get rid of these Banelings. He's quite Marine heavy.
Yeah, he needs to be really careful. He can borrow this.
Oh god! The Baneling's doing an amazing job on the Widow Mines, but that hit! Oh, oh my god.
That was a huge hit.
That took out a ton of Banelings. He still has some left here. Jinx needs to be careful getting ahead behind the Marauders. He's so stimmed right now. Everything's quite low.
Well, he's trying to make himself as cost efficient as possible as more reinforcements join the fight. It looks like the Mutas just cleaning up the medevacs. There's not much left to heal this small bioforce, but Jinx doing a great job so far in surviving with this tiny force.
And he's just trying to get that great position behind the minerals here to maximize the use of this planetary fortress. But is there too much DPS from the Zerg army? The planetary fortress goes down. That's terrible for Jinx. And Ancient's looking really, really good right now. The entire army of Jinx is getting mauled one by one. They are coming out in single file and just meeting a Zerg meat grinder in the face.
Yeah, definitely. There are some Widow Mines left in the middle of the map, and they might be able to cut off some of the reinforcements. But until then, I mean, Jinx is going to have a real hard time trying to re-max in order to keep this Zerg army at bay. But those Widow Mines,
oh god,
they
they're
are
always so
very
scary.
useful.
Heart of the Swarm has become an incredibly exciting spectator sport here. And really, that's the best that Ancient could have hoped for those 4 Widow Mines to hit those lanes, because there were some mutas that flew over them at the split-second right time for them to get away from those shots here. And Ancient's basically taking the left side of the map here. He now has 6 hatcheries and is looking really, really good right now.
Yeah, Jinx is having a rough time. He hasn't even had time to really slap down any missile turrets to help against the 22 mutas that are currently on the field with +1, mind you. So those are such a deadly force on their own right now. And Jinx is going to have a real hard time pushing out of his base against this.
And even with speed medevacs, mutas are very, very, very effective against them. They boost for only a few seconds, and the mutas are faster than them when they're not boosting, so they do end up catching them eventually.
And speaking of which, there is a drop going down for Jinx at the 5th or 6th base. I've lost count at this point.
And the mutas and lings clean this up really easily.
Yeah.
And there are 3 Vipers on the way for Ancient. I'm not sure they'll come into play here. Jinx definitely on the back foot here. Struggling to get a 3rd up. In fact, it doesn't even look like he has a... okay, he does have a 3rd command center on the way, but where does he put it, Zepph?
Yeah, it's really tough. His army, too, is just not quite equipped to deal with the mutas. A ground force, yeah, sure, because it's got a lot of Widow Mines, a lot of beefy Marauders in there, but the Marine count is very low, currently just sitting at 13, and there's way more mutas than that right now. So it's going to be really tough to do some damage, but if you can get those crucial Widow Mine hits off on those mutas, that can change everything.
Can indeed. We got 2-2 Zerg against a 1-1 Terran, 3-3 on the way, and Ultras as well. All the tier 3 coming out here. Oh! Widow Mine hits there, but not enough to take out the Baneling Cluster, and that's really what Jinx wanted here. The mutas are just flying over the Terran. Not too many Marines at all to deal with all these mutas.
Oh, he started stepping back desperately once again, but this time there's not even a planetary to fall back to, and there's the abduct on the last medevac from Jinx.
And GG. Very well played from Ancient here, taking the first game for IBM. So, wow. Very well played.
Yeah, very nice build from Ancient there. Really economical. Delayed all his upgrades really late. Everything really late, just to get as many drones as possible. And it worked out really well against Jinx. With Jinx, really valiant effort there against that many mutas.
Quite a valiant effort. He was looking pretty good up until the mid game. Some nice drops. Good use of his multitask abilities. Of course, Ancient with the Swarm managed to get himself a whole side of the map to himself. And when you let a Zerg get that far, they're very hard to eradicate.
What can you do?
What can you do? What you do is you GG and you let your teammate get revenge for you. So let's see game number 2 very shortly, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.